You're listening to Do This First, a daily personal development podcast that focuses on science-backed, actionable steps towards your best year ever. Hi, I'm Santa, your host. Today, we're continuing with our 10 most influential CEOs of the 20th century series. Today, we're talking about Thomas Benoist, who founded the first company to provide flight services to the general population. We're taking a different turn with this podcast episode because Benoist, even though he accomplished much, and we're indebted to him, we all are, there were a lot of things created setbacks for him. And I think that some of those things are invaluable lessons to learn as we all move forward. First, let me give you some background information. Benoist's St. Petersburg Tampa airboat line was founded in 1914. It operated the world's first scheduled commercial airline services using a Benoist 24 flying boat. On January 1st, 1914, the St. Petersburg Tampa airboat line made its inaugural flight, carrying one paying passenger, Abram Field, across Tampa Bay from St. Petersburg to Tampa, Florida. This historic flight marked the beginning of regular scheduled commercial airline services, making it the first such service in the world. The success of this early commercial flight helped pave the way for the development of the commercial aviation industry that we know today. The St. Petersburg Tampa airboat line was a pioneering commercial airline service, but only operated for a brief period before facing financial challenges and ultimately ceasing operations. Thomas W. Benoist's achievements and legacy in aviation are undeniable. Firstly, he was a visionary. He was indeed the pioneering figure in early aviation history. He left a lasting impact on the development of commercial air travel. His most notable achievement was the founding of the St. Petersburg Tampa airboat line in 1914. It really did mark a groundbreaking moment in aviation by operating the world's first scheduled commercial airline service. By successfully demonstrating the feasibility and practicality of air transportation for passengers, Benoist played a crucial role in shaping the future of the aviation industry as we know it today. Benoist was not only an aviation entrepreneur, but also a craft manufacturer, known for his innovative work on seaplanes and flying boats. His contributions to aviation technology helped advance the capabilities of aircraft during a time of rapid technological development in the field of aviation. Despite the eventual closure of the St. Petersburg Tampa airboat line due to financial challenges, and we'll talk more about that in a little bit, Benoist's passion for aviation persisted. He continued to be involved in various aviation projects and ventures, showcasing his resilience and dedication to the industry. Then the war happened when he started the Tampa St. Petersburg airboat line. The war happened, World War I, and the impact of World War I was a significant factor that affected Thomas W. Benoist's aviation business and financial situation. The outbreak of World War I in 1914 had far-reaching consequences for industries worldwide, including aviation. The demands of the war effort redirected resources and attention away from civilian pursuits such as commercial air travel. During wartime, governments typically prioritize military aviation contracts and technological advancements to support their military operations. As a result, opportunities for civilian aviation ventures like Benoist's commercial airline were often limited or overshadowed by the military's needs. While the failure of his commercial airline may have posed financial obstacles, Benoist's entrepreneurial spirit and commitment to aviation innovation were unwavering. His legacy does live on through his pioneering efforts in commercial air travel and aircraft manufacturing. Tragically, Thomas W. Benoist's life was cut short just a mere 3 years later. In Sandusky, Ohio, Benoist exited a taxi where he hit his head against a post. He died on Valentine's Day, February 14th, 1917. Despite his premature death, his contributions to early aviation remained significant and continue to be remembered as fundamental milestones in the history of air transportation. Benoist's rather tragic story holds several leadership lessons that we can apply to our lives. Firstly, timing. Timing is a critical factor for leaders when introducing new products or services, as demonstrated by Thomas W. Benoist's experience and the impact of World War I on his aviation ventures. Here are some key points highlighting the importance of timing in leadership and innovation. Number one, market readiness. Timing plays a crucial role in determining the readiness of the market for a new product or new services. Even if a product is innovative and well designed, launching it during a period of instability like Thomas Benoist did can hinder its success. Leaders must assess external market factors to identify opportune moments for introducing offerings. Number two, technological landscapes. The evolution of technology can influence the success of a new product or service. Introducing cutting-edge technology ahead of its time may result in limited adoption due to infrastructure limitations or user unfamiliarity. Leaders must gauge the technological landscape and align product releases with technological advancements. Number three, economic conditions. Economic cycles and external factors such as recessions, inflation, or geopolitical events like a war can influence the success of new products or services. Consumer purchasing power, discretionary spending trends, and industry performance are impacted by economic conditions. Leaders must anticipate economic shifts and align product launches with favorable economic environments. Number four, regulatory and policy framework. Changes in regulations, policies, or industry standards can create opportunities or challenges for new products or services. In Benoist's case, specifically, he was not able to secure a major contract, which was one of the factors that led to the company's demise. The majority of resources were reallocated for the war. Leaders need to stay informed about regulatory developments and assess their implications on product introductions and market acceptance. Adapting to regulatory changes and timing product launches accordingly is crucial for success. Number five, consumer behavior and trends. Understanding consumer behavior preferences and trends is essential for successful product launches. Timing product releases to align with changing consumer needs or emerging trends can enhance market acceptance and adoption. With the nation at war, taking a plane ride was not a priority or even of interest for many consumers. In many cases, women were struggling to make ends meet, while able-bodied men were overseas fighting in World War I. And in some of the major cities like New York, children were working in the factories. In hindsight, a commercial airplane for discretionary pleasure travel seems a bit tone deaf, given that half of the world, including America, was at war. Optimal timing for introducing new offerings is key. Another very solid leadership lesson from Benoist is the dichotomy of being first. The story of Thomas W. Benoist underscores the important lesson that being the first to do something does not automatically guarantee success. Here are some key points to consider regarding the relationship between being a pioneer in a field and achieving success. Number one, market acceptance. Introducing a new idea, product, or services ahead of its time can be met with skepticism or resistance from the market, as we discussed previously. Being the first may mean facing challenges in convincing consumers or stakeholders of the value or relevance of the innovation. Success often hinges not just on being a trailblazer, but also on effectively communicating the benefits and addressing potential barriers to adoption. Number two, timing and readiness. As mentioned earlier, timing plays a critical role in the success of new initiatives. Being the first in a particular domain may not yield results if the market or ecosystem is not yet prepared for the innovation. It's essential to assess market readiness, technological advancements, and external factors that can influence the reception and adoption of pioneering effort. Number three, iterative learning. Innovation is often an iterative process that involves learning from early attempts, feedback, and failures. Being the first may require navigating uncharted territory, making mistakes, and refining approaches based on insights gained along the way. Success is not solely about being the first, but also about learning from experiences, adapting strategies, and continuously improving. Number four, competition and differentiation. Being a pioneer can attract competition and imitation, particularly if the innovation proves to be successful. Success in such scenarios may depend on maintaining a competitive edge through ongoing innovation, differentiation, and strategic positioning. Simply being the first to introduce an idea or concept may not be sufficient to sustain success in the long term. Kind of like resting on your laurels. Just doesn't work. Number five, execution and implementation. While being a first mover can offer advantages such as establishing brand recognition or setting industry standards, success ultimately hinges on effective execution and implementation. Operational excellence, customer satisfaction, and strategic alignment are all crucial for translating pioneering efforts into sustainable success. Being the first to do something can provide opportunities for recognition and leadership, for sure. It does not guarantee, though, success in and of itself. All the factors previously discussed must be considered. Learning from both successes and setbacks, adapting to changing circumstances, and focusing on delivering value to stakeholders are essential aspects of navigating the complexities of innovation and achieving sustainable success over time. I honestly did not know who Thomas W. Benoist was before researching the podcast episode. Did you? Yet, his influence and footprint in history is undeniable, as most of us have traveled on a commercial airline recently or at some point in our lives. If you like what you're hearing, don't forget to leave a review. Follow and subscribe to my YouTube channel at Do This First. You can also read a full transcript of this podcast episode and all of my podcast episodes on my blog, DoThisFirst.life. You can also sign up for my new weekly newsletter, which will help you get your week started on a positive note, and updates on coaching, books, merch, and my public speaking engagements as they become available. Tomorrow, we'll continue. It'll be our final installment of our 10-part series on the most influential CEOs of the 20th century. Till tomorrow. Moving past the rain, moving past the pain, or past the color blue. I see power in you. Past welded down. Look around, they can't be found. I see a champion in you. I see a champion in you.